You're welcome to the Live Again series. My name is Enifome and I'm the founder of the Live Again movement. We help broken, abused, and distressed women live again. And it's an honor to bring to you the Live Again series. This has been a lot of series, if there's a word like that. We've had the series back to back, just featuring women living again, sharing their practical steps that they've taken to live again. And tonight I have an amazing guest. I can't wait for you to meet her. I can see she's on now. Let me just bring her up immediately. Okay, welcome,
Yeah,
or should I say welcome back?
I think welcome back is the best word.
Welcome,
Good
Chef
evening.
Amaka. Hello,
Thank you
everybody.
so much.
In case anybody is wondering, this is not. Do you cook live? Do you do live cooking?
I I do stories, Sha. So I
Eh,
did the story. I just finished it a while ago.
okay, no, I thought I was asking whether you do IG live of you cooking because people be
No,
wondering.
no, no.
She's not cooking today. What is she doing live?
No. I'm not I don't do IG live. I don't do IG live. Probably I'll do it one day.
Mm,
I'm considering it because
you will. You will. After this one,
it's
you
not
will.
so easy maybe, but usually I just on my story just share my next action and everybody
Yeah,
follow.
yeah. So, anyways, thank you for being here. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, Chef Amaka community. What do they call your
Ah,
community? I don't know.
I don't know. We don't have name. Oh. We don't have name. How would not
Welcome,
day?
anyways.
That's what
Welcome,
I tell them.
everybody.
How would not
Welcome.
day? And everybody here.
Okay. So, welcome, everyone. In case you're wondering what is going on here, let me tell you. This is the Live Again series, right? And in here, we help women live again. That's what we do. Someone is saying it's giveaway day. It's not giveaway. Oh.
It's not giveaway. Oh. Please, if you are the one doing giveaway, I will take. Oh,
Exactly.
thank you.
It's not giveaway. It's not giveaway. This is the Live Again series. My name
It's
is
live
Enifome.
again, live
Yes,
again, not
it's
give
about living
away.
again, really. That's what we're doing here. Anyways, let me be serious. My name is Enifome, and I'm the founder of the Live Again movement. What we do is that we help broken, abused, and distressed women live again purposefully and profitably. It's really around wellness, being well from the inside out. That's where we specialize, and just helping people heal truly from abuse and different things like difficult situations and pain and trauma. And Chef Amaka is my guest tonight. And one of the main reasons why she's here is because she's very passionate about wellness, number one. Number two, she's a resilient woman, right? And in here, we feature resilient women just sharing their practical steps to live again. And it's amazing that we're having this live. I want you to sit back and relax because it's going to be very interesting and you're going to learn a lot, especially tips and strategies and practical steps to live again. So before I even talk about what I want to ask you, let me introduce my guest properly. Her name is Chef Amaka. Amaka Wakalo Egemba, aka Wunye Aproko Doctor. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, she is the owner slash executive chef of Dish La Frique, the convener of Chow with Amaka, and the owner of Body and Mind Wellness, BAM. She studied economics at the University of Lagos, UNILAG, a beginner's certificate in culinary arts at Wavecrest College of Hospitality, and a professional certificate in culinary arts at Giggles Culinary Academy. She is currently a fellow in Leading African Women in Food Fellowship, an advocate of Zero Hunger, that is SDG 2, actively supported women, particularly widows and children. She's known for her entertaining and hospitable nature, which I can attest to actually since her school days, and is passionate about wellness as well as bringing joy and warmth in all her endeavors. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome my guest, Chef Amaka. in the words of Stanze, one year, Proco Doctor.
Wunye
Welcome,
odogu
welcome.
aproko. Wunye odogu nonso. Wunye
Oh
odogu
my
egemba. Yes, I think that one is better.
God. Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
Welcome. Thank you for doing this with me. I really appreciate it. Thank you for your
My
support
pleasure.
towards the Live
Yeah.
Again work, especially the Live Again outreach that we're having. It
Yeah.
means a lot to us. Thank you so much. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's take it away. I told you, go and invite your friends. This is going to be a very interesting and educative, and let me add, inspiring IG Live, because this was inspired by God. I'm not just doing this because I want to do it, and she's not doing it because she feels like doing it. She just finished cooking. She wants to race. She wants to go and have a race, but she's here because she wants to also help women live again. So my first question, what does the term live again mean to you? When you hear live again, what jumps at you? What comes to your mind?
Okay. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank
Thank
you.
you also for the question, and this is a very, very great initiative.
Thank you so
Um,
much.
Everybody's alive, right? Everybody's living. But when you are living again, it is that realization that you are not going to be the same way you were before. Live again to me is more like a new person, an informed person. I love you too, Z World, a busy life. I can see you. Live again to me is living in the consciousness that you are a new person, living in the consciousness that you are an informed person, living in the consciousness that your past is behind you and that there is a better tomorrow. That is, whenever I hear live again, that is, you are brand new, right?
Hmm.
You are brand new. So that is how I see live again. Yeah.
Wow. You are brand new. You are brand new. Hmm. I love it. I actually love it because if you are living again, there has to be a newness about it. There has to be, the
Exactly.
old has to go away. You can't be
Exactly.
living again and you're still living in the old way, your old life, your old thinking, your
Yeah.
old mindset, your old
Yeah.
beliefs. Everything is
Yeah.
just old. Like the Bible says, we can't put new wine into old wine skin.
Exactly. Exactly. So one
Mm.
of the beautiful things about living again is at times, because you know one of the things is that as humans we are three in one. We have
Yeah.
the body, the soul, and the spirit.
And the spirit.
Now the spirit is already like a new, right? It's now time for us to now um renew, bring that newness that is already in our spirit into our soul. That is our mind. Now, when you are living again, you are living like you have a clean slate. You are putting the past behind. But the thing is that sometimes the past still comes. So that is the reason why I mentioned consciousness. So
Hmm.
sometimes it comes, but you need to push it away. And that is one of the things that I have been doing. At
Hmm.
times, in the course of trying to live again, I have that kind of thoughts that I have had in the past coming back again. And because I know that I am in a new slate, I tell myself, that's the old me, this is new me. Sometimes I even
Hmm.
shut it down. You understand? I know that it's there, but I don't put importance to it. I insist on
Mm,
the fact that I am living my best life,
mm,
and that is what I mean. That is what I believe. Live again is. So when I say newness, I mean you have a clean slate. So sometimes those things to come and clean, to dent your new you comes. It's not left for you to be conscious and prevent it and not allow it stay you. So that is what I believe
wow.
again means. Yeah.
there's a lot you said in such a short time. And what I'm picking from there is consciousness and the power of focus. Because what we focus on expands. And what I'm hearing you
Exactly.
say is that because man is tripartite in nature, spirit, soul, and body, the spirit is renewed a lot of times because we give our lives to Christ and we decide to serve God. But the mind needs, that's where the memory, that's where all the things of the past is. And sometimes it just keeps coming back to remind you. For example, you have a goal, you want to be a fit farm, whatever, you want to
Yeah,
lose weight, and then your mind,
exactly. That's
that
that's
has
a
some
practical
memory of,
example.
yeah, some
It's
kind
very
of
practical.
food will now come and say, you want to lose weight, is it you? And then you will be struggling with that old version of you, that old
Exactly.
person. And there's this war between, the old and the new, which doesn't ever stop. But what I'm hearing
Exactly.
you say is that is the consciousness, is the gaining control of I'm a new person and having that mindset and that consciousness, and always reminding the old that I am new in everything, in
Exactly.
our words, in our actions,
Exactly.
associations, decisions, just gaining
Exactly.
that control to tell the past that, look, you are past.
You
You
are
don't pass.
past.
Hey, I love it.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. Thank you for sharing. Okay, my
You're
next
welcome.
question. Um, why is it important to live again? Or wait, let me go. Let me switch the question. Let me switch the question. Give me a moment. Have you ever been knocked down by life? Has there been any time
Um,
that life has gbasgbos you, right? And what were the practical steps that you took to bounce back or begin to live again?
I will say this: if you have not been gbasgbos in life, you are not living. You are not alive.
Hey!
Life in itself comes with gbas and gbos, and that gbas, if you do not succumb, makes you stronger. Do you understand? Where will I start from? Do I start from heartbreaks from relationship? You know, do I start from the fact that I was once engaged and it did not work? Do I start from the fact that people didn't relate with me because I was too tall? Where will I start? Where will I start? That I struggled in school, in the university, that um, wishing that the information that we have now was available then, so that my parents would be able to handle me properly as the most outspoken and the most jovial of all the children. Where do I start from? It's a lot. And I will not lie, right now, I am still healing. I'm still building myself up. It is a lot. It's a lot. Let me just give you a scenario. When I was very young, I'm so intelligent, right? I'm very good with mathematics. Then I was so good with French. If my mom probably had taken me seriously, I'll probably be speaking French by now. But I was so good with any analytical subject. Now I am in the midst of my classmates. My classmates do not relate with me. I am one of the youngest, and I am now tall. So imagine all of us are maybe 8 years old. All of them are chum chum chum. Then you now see one tall giant. They won't want to relate with me. It may look small, but that is a bad boost for me. The fact that I did not have people that I could call my own, my friends, right? The fact that I would see a boy that I like and the guy does not like me because I'm tall. I'm just being like, I'm just coming to the basics. I don't want to even go to the big ones. The fact that I felt like a second option, it has happened countless times. I feel like, oh, you preferred, you like the fact that I am, you only relate with me because of something I have and not who I am.
Mm.
Now, how I was able to deal with it, I am still dealing with it. First of all, I want to thank God for my husband. Like, that is, my husband is the greatest gift that God has given to me, because this is somebody that loves me in and out. In fact, he tells me to wear my heels. My height is gives him glory. He takes pride in the fact that I am tall and I am bold and I am walking. It gives him so much joy. So I thank God first for my husband. But I don't want to bring that one in as much as, yes, he helped me. One of the things I discovered was that when I was holding on to these things, I started pleasing people just because I wanted to have them in my corner. I started doing things I'm not supposed to do just because I wanted to get some level of validation. Now, it got to a point that when I was not addressing this issue, it was piling up. It was piling up to the point that I couldn't deal again. And that's why you hear some ladies feel suicidal, right? And so I spoke out and I said, I'm not a second option. I am worth it. You know, I am good at what I do. I, I shouldn't treat myself, I shouldn't feel like a second option. And so one of the things I decided to do is I had to look inward and ask myself, what am I doing that is making people see me as a second option? It's possible that there is a certain character trait that I am, exhibiting unknowing to me. Probably it's the way I carry myself or the way I speak. There is a way I exhibit that exactly. I exhibit it, and without people knowing, people just disrespect you just like that. And then I sat down and I decided that, okay, there are certain things I need to do. If I used to shout out loud, I need to shout with caution. If I used to go anywhere unkept, I need to go everywhere neat and in place. I had to then start loving myself. And how did I start loving myself? I started looking at what I was doing. I went back, I started watching my videos. I was like, wow, Chamaka, you did this. So I watched all my videos. I started reading, and good enough, a friend, a colleague in the university, she was one of the best graduating students in economics department. And I remember she even reminded me. I remember that I called her and I prayed for her. Sincerely, I forgot. But when God sees that you are you are now becoming self-aware, he will bring some people your way to remind you of who you are. This lady wrote a story and posted my picture. And I was like, she started her HR journey because she was working in the banking sector and moved to HR. And she said one of the people that kickstarted it was me. Why? I called her and I told her, you are more than this. And I prayed for her. And in less than 3 years, she's now one Oga Patapata in the HR department. She's now a giant in her field. I was like, Omo, if I ever felt bad about myself, this thing that she just said, oh, I dare not feel bad. I dare not. I can't feel bad. I can't. That one came. I started watching some of my videos, started looking at my growth. And then my husband also brought that consciousness. That's the reason why I said I thank God for my husband. Then he encouraged me to read books. So I started reading a book on self-esteem, and it helped me. I started becoming more self-aware and knowing who I am, my worth, and what I deserve. And it has helped me in shaping myself properly. I will not lie, it is not easy. Sometimes I go to default setting and shout. But like I said, consciousness. So when I do it, I just come back. When I jump everywhere, I come back. When I do anything, I come back. Because the truth is that that nature actually attracted a lot of disappointment, a lot of heartbreak, a lot of gbasgbos in my life. And as much as possible, I need to love myself. I need to develop stamina. I need to encourage myself. I need to be ready to have difficult conversations.
Yeah.
Recently, I had a difficult conversation, and that is something that I run away from on a normal day.
Mm.
But this is me being self-aware. Like
Mm.
I, I faced the gbasgbos, and I became stronger.
Mm.
So everybody have different ways. Maybe they were
Yeah.
molested and all
Yeah.
that. But mine is beyond that.
Yeah.
Mine is the fact that I suffered low self-esteem.
Mm.
And the people around me contributed to it. Some people around me contributed to it. And
I can
certain
relate.
character and behaviors
Mm.
gave them room
Yeah.
to do it. Yeah.
Mm. Mm.
So, like
Mm.
for instance, my sister, they always say that she's supposed to be the firstborn. I'm the firstborn. They always say she's supposed to be the firstborn. I even accepted it. But there was a challenge that happened. And the way I stepped in, I just stepped in my usual self. And my sisters told me, now I know why you are the firstborn.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
Now I know why you are the firstborn. I just stepped in. So just look at your past record. When you look at your, when I looked at my past record and my growth, when I looked at it and I looked at the lives that I have touched, Omo, I became more
Mm.
self-aware, more conscious of who I am, and it has helped me or is helping me in my journey of living again.
Wow. Omo, hey, this has been valuable already. Please, if you've gotten any sort of aha moments, please type it in the chat, and I'll tell you why. I can relate with you very well. First of all, I'm an Ada as well. I'm not the first born child, but I'm the first girl.
Daughter.
Yes, first daughter. And I know that I've always been very fiery growing up, very outspoken. I was the kind of child that, in primary school where people are asking questions, I'm the one that my hand is up.
Raise
I know
up
they
and
fear
I'm like
anybody.
that.
I mean, they ask all the questions.
They'll
I know they fear anybody.
call us, I too know.
Yes, I too know. And then when you say the information that you have now and how maybe your parents did not understand the kind of child, I can relate. Because I was the kind of child that questioned status quo. The kind of child that is like, why is this thing like this? Why is this? I know there's something to keep quiet. Like, why is it? My parents would always tell me, shut up, keep quiet, you talk too much. Are you the only one here? And people started doing it after a while. So of course
Yeah.
I had low self-esteem also. So growing up, I thought I was ugly. I thought I wasn't good
Yes.
enough. I thought I was not beautiful.
Yes.
I thought I had flat nose.
Yes.
All those came out
Yes.
from the way people used to receive me because of my boldness. They did not understand
Yes.
why I would just be bold like that. And I believe that my parents did not understand that it was
And we
connected to my
accepted
destiny.
it. We accepted it.
Yes, because after a while, it becomes, people start doing it so much that you now believe that, okay, maybe this is who I am meant to be, right? So when you said that, that woman that called you and said you prayed with her, let me tell you when I had a light bulb moment. When I realized that with all that I have gone through in my life, if God did not give me the kind of boldness and strength, I've done that. Like, it was follow come for me to fulfill my destiny. It's who I
Yeah.
am. That was such a game changer for me, right? And I can relate to watch everything that you're saying, everything. The low self-esteem part, I can relate. The
Yeah.
part of people saying you are too try and reduce your, because ordinary, the fact that you're even tall, when you get into a place, you already have presence.
Thank you.
Some people,
When you step
you're
into
like,
the place, everybody knows that you
that
are around.
you're there, you understand? So for me, I'm not as tall as you. I've met you in person, you're very tall, but I have presence. I cannot enter into a place and you will not notice me. So that was a
Yeah.
problem for people and also a problem for me. I began to feel that let me just enter and go and hide at the back. But no, I was
Yeah.
not meant to hide. I was not meant to hide. Light does not hide.
Exactly.
I am light.
Exactly.
So when you say you became
Recently,
more self-aware,
yeah.
and then you started, I see, I've written down everything that you said, and let me take
Recent,
it. Yes.
recently, I
Yes.
traveled to Owo, and I
Mm.
was with my sister's mother-in-law. And like I said, when you are becoming self-aware, God just starts to bring some kind of
People,
people
yeah.
around you. My sister's mother-in-law, for some reason, likes me. She likes me so much, and they treated me well. And the next thing she said, Adanne, you are like people that call me Adanne. I'm the firstborn and the first child. So people that call me Adanne, it means that you respect me. It's a title. People they call
Mm.
them Ada, but my own is Adanne. It's a title
Mm.
for me. Now this woman calls me Adanne. I begged her, Mommy, please call me Chiamaka. She said no. Before I left, she told me, Chiamaka, I am so happy you came around because people like you in this world make the world complete. I turned, I looked
Ooh.
at her.
Wow.
I make the world complete. I add
Complete. Come
spice to the
on.
world. Come on. When she said it, I was like, In my head, I said, Mommy, you're teaching, no. You are teaching. She said, your kind of people. She said,
Yeah.
if there are people like me, the world will be boring.
Yeah. Oh.
You add spice.
Spice.
So when I
Yeah.
come and then when she tells me, that does not mean that I will still do my, but with courage. I'm like,
Yes.
Mommy, how are you doing? Not, I'll still do it with charisma, because it's me being self-aware. I need to
Yeah.
do everything and at the same time carry poise as much as
Mm.
possible. Carry the poise.
Mm.
So I'll just, Mommy, Alpha, let me help you now. Mommy, this one. Not, so when she saw, she knows that, this girl, you
She
add
has
spice.
sense.
And this was me
Yeah.
not being my full old self. I did myself and I was already aware that I carried myself with poise and still became outspoken and jovial as I've
Mm.
always been. And she said it. She said, people like you add spice to this
Yeah.
world. If there are only people like
Absolutely.
me, this world will not be complete.
Yeah.
It's
It'll be boring.
amazing.
And that's when you and let me say something here, right? I always say this: when you accept who you are, people will accept who you are. The problem is when
Exactly.
you don't accept who you are, you're trying to fit into the world's view of who you should be. You go,
Mhm.
you know how they say you go explain tire. Like you will keep
Exactly.
trying. People will never, ever, ever be satisfied.
Yes.
They will never,
Totally
because you're
agree.
not supposed to be living for them. You're supposed to live for yourself. People will adjust. And like you said, and
Exactly.
I always say this, when you begin to live again, one of the ways that you will know if you are listening to us is that you begin to attract new people into your life. Yeah. People that would agree and understand and just appreciate who you are. You would attract them. That healed
Yeah.
or healing version of you on that healing journey, you will attract. But when you're broken, like you said, you have to ask yourself, and I think it's important to reiterate this. You said you have to ask yourself that what is inside, what is making me see myself as a second option? What am I doing that is making people see me as a second option? And this is important because sometimes we blame everything and everyone but
On
ourselves.
people.
We don't look
Yes.
inwards and search and say, wait, oh, what are they do? Because I always say that nobody can see you finish without you seeing yourself finish. It's really about you. Whatever you allow is what to be allowed. Whatever you disallow is what will be disallowed. So just you saying that you looked inwards to ask yourself that way too. What am I doing that is making people see me as a second option? There must be something I'm doing that is making,
There's
and
something
that is
I'm
something I really
doing.
want us to stay in, because you cannot live again if you don't look inwards to connect with the core of your being. Many times we're just doing things, we are not in connection with our spirit man. We're just doing it. There's no authenticity, there's no why, there's no reason, there's no purpose, there's no conviction
Yeah.
for what we are doing. But when you ask those questions and you look inwards, it helps you become one with what you're doing. And it strengthens your conviction that you're like, this is who I am. If you don't take it, then hug transformer.
Forget about it.
Forget about it. You get it? You will no longer be living for people pleasing, like how you said you were living for people, trying to please people,
Waiting
always trying to
for
fit into.
validations.
Yeah, you go into a place, you say, I'm too tall, low. And then I think also it was self-consciousness, being so conscious of yourself to the point where
Over conscious.
over conscious of yourself is a problem. Is a problem. And I love everything that you said. People pleasing. You said issues piling up. I wrote that down. Issues piling up, because one of the reasons why people don't live again, why they don't even live in the first place, because some people are alive, but they're not truly living. One of the reasons why that happens is because of piling of issues. There is just this pile upon pile where we don't want to sit with ourselves to really check and look inwards and deal with that thing. But let's just keep going. Let's just keep going. And then we try to use activity to, patch it and cover it up. But the thing is piling there. And then we realize that we don't have any zeal to live. Like we just wake up, we just, no fire, no drive. We just let it not be as if we did not, there is no deep conviction. And I think one of the reasons for that is because people pile up things. So thank you for mentioning that. Then you said something else. You said, I spoke out. I want to highlight that as well as a practical step to living again. Self-talk. What kind of talk are you talking to yourself? Because yourself is hearing yourself when you talk.
Exactly.
So I'm talking now, I'm sleeping now, and I'll be remembering everything I said today because I'm hearing myself. Myself there's an inner self that is listening to what you're saying. So talk to yourself. She said she had to talk to herself. She had to speak to herself that you are worthy. You are good enough. You are amazing. And people started to relate with that and even attest to that, like that your is it your mother-in-law or you said your brothers? What did you even describe it? Something mother-in-law.
My sister's mom-in-law.
Mom-in-law said you are amazing, you are a gift to the world, because you began to talk to yourself that, look, is it not the same me that prayed for somebody and the person became like this? I'm good enough. And you have to look into your past too to check, because in the past there are lessons, there are mistakes, but there are also lessons. There are clues. You got a clue that you're actually good enough because you prayed for someone and the person got a job and the person is doing so well. That means you are not a non-entity. You're actually something. So I challenge everyone listening to us, if you want to live again, go into your past, not to go and regret or anything. Go in there with an objective mind.
Pick the lessons and
pick the lessons. There are lessons there. There are things you can get from there that are useful for your present and your future. Don't just throw it away, but don't go and dwell there. That's what we're actually trying to say, right? But go and take the lessons and the important lessons. And then you said you started to love yourself. I took that down. So please listen. These are practical steps that she said. I'm just repeating them. She said she became self-aware. That's something else you need to be if you want to live and not just exist. Is something else you need to do. Then she said
doubt makes you feel like you are not good enough. Princess said it, and she's correct.
Yeah, doubt makes you feel exactly. Self-doubt. It makes you feel as if you're not good enough. Thank you for sharing. And then you said you read books. This one is important though. If you want to live again, knowledge. She said she read books on self-esteem. That helped her. So knowledge, if you want to live again, be a lover of knowledge. Dedicate that time to read. Go to YouTube. You can even type a book and you will get the audio version there. I'm just giving you
on YouTube.
If you are a visual learner, just be a sucker for knowledge. Just love knowledge and you will live again. And then you mentioned knowing my worth, right? Very important. Knowing your worth. Don't go to where you're not appreciated. Don't try to always be in places where nobody is valuing you. Those that value you come to you and you will meet them. So if you want to live again, you have to do this. Then you said something, you said consciousness. And I want to point something back here that you said. You said, I used to bring myself back. I have to point to this because you said so many amazing things in a short time. And I can't just gloss over them. Because you would always want, mindfulness, that's what it means. Bringing yourself back to the present moment, being mindful, being conscious. Because let me not lie to you, the voices in your head sometimes are actually louder than the voices outside. And the real battle is in the mind. So once you are able to self-talk yourself and then also bring yourself back without judging yourself too much and say, hey, you see your life, you have gone back to the old. Is there any way you can never leave the old? And then you stay there. No. Bringing yourself back, being conscious and bringing yourself back is very, very important. And then he said, I faced gbasgbos and I became stronger, right? That is something to note. Don't be too afraid of gbasgbos. It actually helps you become stronger. And then the last thing you said is, look at your past records and your growth. Please, for someone listening to us, I'm sure by now, If we say we are not even doing again, let's just share the offering basket and go. You would have gotten practical steps to live again. If you can take these things that Chef Amaka has shared now, I'm telling you, you will begin to live again. But we have more questions. And I'm going
Yeah.
to the next question. Why is it important to live again? Now that you're on this side where you're healing, you are a wellness advocate, you're doing BAM wellness, you are on a journey of self-discovery, self-awareness, you now love knowledge, you take time to read and appreciate yourself, value yourself, carry yourself well. How is it now that you're living again, and why is it important to live again? What is at stake for a person who is like, you know what, please, I can't, I can't. Let me just be. It's too hard. Let me just remain who I was or who my old self. What would you say is important, or what would you say is the reason why it's important to live again?
Okay. It's important for me to live again for two reasons. Number one, for myself.
Mm.
Um, I I know, even with the low self-esteem, then I actually knew where I was going. Like I could see a mental picture of a tiny light of where I was going. And so when I knew that it was time for me to live again, it became clearer. So it was important for myself. Very, very important for myself. And the most important one is for people around me.
Hey.
Now, I started body and mind, and the reason was because of my struggle with PCOS. I saw a lot of things online. I took supplements, I took medicines, but my sugar levels went off the roof. When I even went to the gym, and it wasn't easy for me. So when my sugar went off the roof, I saw, I will not lie, that period, my husband was worried. He's a doctor, but like, I saw that moment where they say, doctor no they treat their family people. This one, I saw it live. He didn't, he couldn't think, he couldn't do anything. He got medicine for me, it wasn't coming down. He practically watched me all through the night because my sugar levels was the range at which I can enter coma. So
Wow.
he was scared that I will enter coma. So the moment he tested my sugar almost all through. The moment he tested my sugar and it was not coming down, he bundled me to the hospital. So he was thinking I was going to take certain medications. The other doctor said, no, there's no need. He was like, are you sure? Whenever I remember, I laugh. They said yes. So that's why I said, I now understand why they say doctor do they treat their people. I saw it live.
Mm. Mm.
So when I came back home, I knew that almost high sugar levels, diabetes. I told myself, well, this diabetes no get cure. But the first thing I said is, Shamaka, you don't have diabetes. It's just high sugar. As it take go up,
Now so you go
it go
take on
come
down.
down.
Oh my God.
That was the first thing I said. So I don't call it
Mm.
diabetes. I don't. I don't call it. I'm using this one as a typical example
Mm.
to why I am living again. Because that is one of the recent live again moments. I was like, what am I going to do now? This one that your sugar has gone up. It means that all your favorite foods, your rice, your bread, you cannot eat them again. I said, no, there has to be a way out. So I started researching. I went to talk. I went to ask the dietitian and my husband's best friend, Diet G. I went to their pages. I did research. I sat down. I was watching. I was watching all through. I said, see, I want to keep eating what I want to eat. I want this thing to be sustainable. I want it to be sustainable as much as possible. I want something that I can do without blinking an eye. And so I started researching and I found out that, oh, I can actually eat rice. I was like, eh. Oh, I can actually eat swallow. Oh, I can actually eat eba. Oh, I can actually eat this. All I just need to do is to do this, eat my vegetables, do this. I was like, ah, just that. Then my husband now told me, babe, you also need to work out. When you work out, you now become more insulin sensitive. Now, this high sugar, I don't like calling it diabetes, came as a result of inability to manage PCOS properly. So when I noticed that this was it, I said, okay, let me start doing this thing now. I went to the gym. Then I went to the gym for 1 month. Then my husband had the surgery. So I was in the hospital all through. Then I was not eating my food as I should eat it. And to the glory of God, my sugar level went from, okay, the normal range is 80 to 100. My sugar level was 365.
Wow. Times
That's
three.
times nine. Times nine. 80 to 100. It was 365. That's times 3 or times 4. That number is coma. Oh. That is coma. I have seen
Wow.
people with 400 walking around. I've seen walking candies walk around. I was an example of a walking candy. 365. The normal was 80 to 100. Not that I ate and checked it to fasting blood sugar. That is, I did not eat to. I fasted.
Hey,
Fasting 365. So if I
fasting
eat,
care.
it would have gone up to
Wow. That
maybe
means to say you
500.
chop before.
Exactly.
Hey, way. Wow.
So at that moment, I knew that, Chamaka, whatever thing you are going to do now is
Wow.
something that you have to sustain for a long period of time.
Mm.
Something that you need to keep doing. And I was able to hack it. Even while I was in the hospital with my husband, my sugar level went from 365, went down to 340, went down to 2 something, went down to 1 something. And next thing I was dancing around 8,500,
Oh.
110, 8,500. I was just dancing around. I was still eating my rice. I was still eating my swallow. I was still eating everything. I was like, hmm. So the period when my husband was still recovering, I remembered when he told me that I should exercise. I couldn't go to the gym at that moment. So what did I do? I started taking walks. So I found out that taking walks helped. So I would take walk. This thing I'm saying, nobody should do it though. I do it. So I take walk and cover my ear with earpiece and walk at the opposite side of the road. And I'm listening to messages and I'm walking. I walk for 30 minutes, almost an hour. I walked. I kept on walking. My sugar level was coming down. There was a day it came down to 65. My husband shouted, hey,
It's too
whoa. They
low.
went to buy chocolate for me. It was low. They had to buy something for me to eat. It was too low. But I started doing this and I was like, ah, I would, to the glory of God, it is 1 year and 1 year and 5 months. I've been able to sustainably maintain that lifestyle. And so when I say I'm living again, I told people that, see, this thing there is an opportunity to get my life back.
Mm.
I'm carrying my life back.
Mm.
I'm getting my life back from PCOS. I'm getting my life back from unhealthy eating. I'm getting my life back. So I got my life back and I said, no, no sugar level, no, nothing like that. When I got my life back and I held the hold on my life, and I found out that I can actually still eat some of my
Favorite.
sweets,
Mm.
but I should eat it with sense.
Mm.
So I'll
Mm.
eat my cake. I
And
know
have it.
that I'll eat my cake. After eating it, I know that the next day I have to go back to my salad and this thing. My
Mm.
sugar won't spike. So
Mm.
there was a period where I had to check my sugar for the past 3 months. The first time I checked it when my sugar was 365, my HbA1c, that is your sugar range for the past 6 months, 3 months, was 13.1. The normal range is 4.5 to 6.5. I was 13, is it 31.1 or 13.7? That was my range. It was too high. When I started maintaining it, I went to check. It went down to 6.6. As at, I think, November, I went back to check. It was 4.3. I have sustainably maintained a healthy lifestyle. What did I do? I ate my favorite food with sense. I understand that I have full control of my body, and I did not carry this thing. I did not carry too much weight like that. I waka and I got a hold of my life. It is now because of I've been working, I now crave carrying weight. Then I started buying weight and I'm carrying weight. So when I say what I am living again for some people, it's because I know that there are a lot of women with PCOS. And there's something with this PCOS that it can affect you mentally. So I got bullied online because of I added weight. And that is one of the signs of PCOS. You start having upper body weight. So I got bullied online. They said all sorts, that I was beating my husband, a man that adore me with which hand. I got bullied online. I got all those stuff online. But when I started showing people my journey, and then also mentioned that I got bullied online, people were now like, some people that bullied me regretted that they bullied me. They did not know. So now I met a lot of women that did not know how to sustainably reverse PCOS symptoms. I told them, this is what I did. Oh. If I can do it, you can do it.
You can.
If you want
Wow.
to lose weight, if I can do it, you can do it. Let me hold your hand. Let me guide you. Don't omit the things you like to do. Instead, reform it. What makes you live again is where the actions that you take to live again is something that is adjustable, but is not a drastic change. The problem is that people take drastic changes, and when they take drastic changes, they cannot maintain it. But when you take a change little by little,
Follow the
that is why I
process.
say little, yes, little drops make a
Make the
mighty
ocean.
ocean. So instead of you to run, why not walk? You know, instead of just eating vegetable and meat, eat your rice, you eat your small rice, eat your vegetable, and eat your meat. Instead of saying, I will not eat cake, why not use it to reward yourself? Oh, I have been able to sustainably live this lifestyle for the past 3 months. I cannot give myself a treat. I will take one pizza and I'm done. And I'll go back again. This is what I'm doing.
Yeah. Or even eat plant-based cake. I know someone that does plant-based cakes very well.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's just that
plant-based
me.
treats.
Okay, so someone that is asking for PCOS. PCOS is
Ov-
polycystic ovarian syndrome.
Ovarian syndrome. Yeah.
It is something that happens to women. If a woman has 2 or 3 of these particular symptoms, it means that the person has PCOS and other things. That is, and if it's not well maintained, it can cause other things like diabetes, like hypertension, and infertility. So that's why when you see a woman that has not given birth, you don't need to start asking the woman how far. You don't know what is happening.
Exactly. Exactly.
So instead of making, I want to go back to the drastic, instead of making it the drastic change, you make it gradual. So you
Yeah.
make it
So it
gradual
can be
and then keep on
sustainable.
it, make it sustainable. And I've been living this life for a year and 5 months, and I'm not regretting it.
Wow. Chef Amaka, I've clapped for you before. Let me clap for you again. You know, because I always say that the live again journey is not a walk in the park. I always say it. I'm not a fan of coming to make people feel good and then it's not a walk in the park. You have to want it. You have to desire it. You have to be ready for it. You have to be tired of the old to the point where you're willing to do what it takes to enter the new and stay in the new, because it's one thing to live again. It's another thing to sustain the live again journey. So I like
Yeah.
when you keep mentioning Sustainable is the language I like to talk about when I say you have to live again, and again when you start living again. So
Exactly.
you need those anchors, those systems, those principles, those, being self-aware, being conscious. You need all these anchors to keep you in the journey. Otherwise, it will be a case of I lived again and then I went
And
back
I
to the old.
backslided.
And I exactly. So when you're sharing all these things, for me is really, really, really important. But I want to go back to what you said. The first thing you said when I asked you why is it important to live again, you said for myself. Then you now said for people around me. Look at all the things you said. Look at how. Let me tell you what I brought out from what you shared. Everything you shared. You turned pain to purpose. You turn pain to purpose. And that is what living again is about. That thing
Exactly.
that was supposed to come and kill you, that was supposed to come and ground you, the same sword that Goliath wanted to use to kill David, that was what David used to cut off his head.
Exactly.
So it is okay. Life brought you lemons and you're like, okay, now which kind of flavor of lemonade we go make with this lemon? You get
Life throw you pepper, you turn out to pepper soup.
pepper soup. That's what you did, Chef Amaka. That is exactly what you did. Because you learned the lessons. You checked and you saw the flow. You said, okay, the reason why, and I wrote it down. You said the reason why you had, you had high sugar level was because you were not properly treating the PCOS or properly evaluating it or whatever, or diagnosing it or anything like that. And then you now said there has to be a way. Let me stay here a bit. Because I see a lot of women. I work with broken, abused, and distressed women a lot. I see this hopelessness. It's such a problem where people think there is no way out. See, once you can shift your mindset to there is a way, there has to be a way, you will begin to live again. That is a mindset.
Yes.
Once you can say, no, there has to be a way, you will now it will begin to guide your actions. You begin to look for solutions as against staying in the problem, justifying the problem, glorifying the problem, rehearsing the problem, talking about the problem. Like, you become solutions minded, and it begins to help you to get lessons from there, and then you can now be beneficial to the others that are connected to you. Because I don't even need to ask you how many women have benefited from the solutions that you've gotten that were for yourself that are now being useful for others. So if you're listening to us, you know what? You have to live again, because people are tied to you. Lives are connected to you. Whether you know it or not, you are inspiring people, just like the Chef Amaka said that somebody said she prayed for her some years ago. She did not even remember. People would read your post and they'll be like, I don't know, but I was inspired. But many of them will not come to tell you. That doesn't mean
Exactly.
that you're not inspiring someone. So it's so important for you to live again. It is too important. Like she said, for herself and for people around her. I hope in fact, I will save this life, because there is a lot to get from what you said. Then you said
Thank
it
you.
was an opportunity for you to get your life back. How are you seeing that challenge? As an opportunity or a problem? Let me quickly share this. I heard of a story of a guy who went to India, and they had no shoes as of when he went. And he said, I can't stay here, I can't stay here, I can't stay here. And he left. He said, I can't stay here, please, please, please. He left. No shoes. Another guy went there, which I believe is an Igbo guy, Igbo Kwenu. The guy went there and he said, no shoes, see business, and the guy started importing shoes and he became a millionaire. So that's a classic case of seeing a problem as a problem and seeing a
Yeah.
problem as an opportunity. You said an opportunity for you to get your life back. I took that down because that is very, very important. And then you said something which I'm going to end before I ask the next question now. You said, if I can do it, you can do it. And then I wrote here, if I can live again, you can live again. Because I always say that. I always say it. After all I went through, my sister, I went through the kind of abuse that, Ah, God. You know when the Bible says, Jesus can say, Peter, 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 the enemy was looking for you to sift you like wheat. It's me they talk, it's in me. Like, I'm not joking. Like, it got to an extent, I was, of course, suicidal day now, part of it, but I should not be alive. I should not, if not for the mercy of God. I'm serious. From emotional, and like you said, we all have different things that life gbasgbos us. For some,
Yeah.
is oh, and I always say something that pain is universal. So somebody's pain can be, there's nothing like little pain. It's a small pain.
Oh,
Pain is pain.
pain is
You get
pain.
pain is pain, and we all handle it differently. For me, I am happy, I'm lucky to be alive because life really gbasgbosed me. But when I now began to live again and I bounced back from that which was meant to kill me, and the same sword of abuse is the same sword I'm now using to help other women. Someone even called me today that, can you help me? I have to direct her to DSVA and lawyers and everybody and give her our lawyer to help her. So these are the things I do on a daily basis, and I find fulfillment from helping other women live again in
Yeah.
different aspects of
True.
life. From the same thing
Yes.
that the enemy planned to use
Yeah.
to kill me.
Exactly.
So if you're
Yes.
listening to us, that thing that has come to gbasgbos you is just a tool in the hand of God to take you to the next level. But you have to see it that way, as an opportunity.
Yeah.
Oma, Chef Amaka, hey, this has been God. I can just see his hand in all of this. Let me ask you the next question,
Yeah.
because I'm talking about pain now and how pain is different for different people. And we all have different ways of handling pain. So I'll ask you, how do you handle pain? Whenever you feel pain, or you go through pain, how do you handle it? Someone is going to learn from that.
Hey. Okay, so the way I handle pain is, first of all, I allow myself to be in the moment of that pain. I don't want anybody to tell me, stop crying, it's okay. Eh? 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 These days, when I see people experiencing pain, I tell them, cry,
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 oh.
cry, oh. You see, people don't understand.
It's
Cry,
therapeutic.
yeah. It's therapeutic, and it depends
Yeah.
on the kind of cry.
Yeah.
Eh? Not aimless cry, you.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, there's aimless cry. Yes, yeah, yeah, cry,
There's cry
and
that
there's
when
meaningful
you finish
cry.
crying, you find yourself in a worse state than before you cried. Then there's cry that you
Exactly,
find yourself in a better state. That is the one I'm
exactly.
talking about, the better state own.
When I'm in pain, I cry, you.
Yeah,
People
I
will
do
tell me,
too.
they told me, they'll tell me, Maka go don't cry. I say, now you go. Leave me and my cry. Leave me, make I cry. Leave me.
Cry your
Because
cry,
there's
let me cry my
something,
cry.
let me cry my cry. You quiet your quiet. Let me cry my cry. Because one of the things I've observed that crying does for me is that ah, I get myself soaked in the emotions. I allow myself soak in the emotion. Then that's the first level. I cry. When I cry,
You clean
I clean
your
my
eye and
eye.
move forward. That's it.
I will not just move forward. I will make sure that what I am saying is not what is expected to say.
Mm, mm.
A typical example: you write an exam and you fail. You cry, you cry, you cry, you cry. And then you feel like a failure.
Mm.
And while you are crying,
You're saying
with so
opposite.
much pain, you are
Come on.
saying, I am not a failure.
Come on.
I am not a failure.
Radha.
I am so in that tears.
It's powerful.
This thing,
It's
I
powerful.
first of all thank God for the church I go to. I go to the
Mm,
Logic Church, Love of
mm,
God in Christ. My pastor, Dr. Flourish Peters, I learned this thing from him.
mm,
He had an accident, had a broken head, and while he was about to go unconscious, he just said, although people were saying, hey, 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 hey. The next thing he said is, my father is taking care of me,
Mm.
I will bounce back alive. And he became unconscious. He
Mm.
became unconscious. Where is he now? He's pastoring our church. We are opening branches. We are opening. There are sometimes that you see results. Maybe you go to the hospital, you see a result that it will shake your face, it will do everything. God is not even asking you, I'm sorry, let me be a bit spiritual. God is not asking you to have plenty faith. Just have a tiny faith. Believe. That is all. Believe in Him. That is all. You have a different result. You had a different result. You were heartbroken by a partner that you are planning to marry.
Mm.
You were supposed to get a deal that you are hoping to get that you did not get. You are planning something and at the dying minute you did not get. You sit down, you cry. You say, God, why? Ask God, oh, God, why? Wait till be this. You cry, you exhaust it, and you say, anyway, Sha, I don't know how it's going to happen.
That's it.
I am a
Consciousness.
success already. I
Bringing
don't
back
know
yourself. Mm.
how it's going to happen. This result is not my result. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know how it's going to happen.
Mm.
God has healed me.
Yes.
I don't know how it's going to happen. My land is a fertile land.
Yes.
Anybody that invests in me, anything that comes into me will bring forth good fruits.
Yes.
So you don't just cry
Yes.
aimlessly. You cry purposely.
Yes.
So when I'm in pain, I cry. When I cry, I make sure that what I say is different from what I am expected to say.
Mm.
So instead of saying I'm a failure,
Mm.
with my tears, I am a
Yes.
success. Oh, yes, I know that I messed up in this deal, but I know that when the next opportunity comes,
Yes. Come
I
on.
will ace this thing.
Come on.
Hey, I am more than a conqueror.
Yes.
I know what to do. Sometimes when I get when I am opportunity to get a deal that at the end of the day I don't get, I feel bad. I feel so bad. And while I'm feeling bad, my word changes. And the next thing I say is, my land is a fertile
Yes.
ground. Anybody that comes in contact with me comes in contact with fruitfulness.
Yes.
I am grace
Mm.
personified. I have the grace of God living inside of me.
Mm.
It may not look like I have what it is,
Mm.
but I have what it takes to
Come
be who I am.
on.
I say it. I keep on saying it.
Yeah.
That is true. Number three, I have somebody that I talk to, that
Support
I'm in my
system.
vulnerable state.
Yeah.
In my own
Support
case,
system. Very important.
is my husband.
Mm.
My husband, he will not yab me. He will not tell me why are you crying. He will not tell me this one. He will allow me. He will not, in fact, when you cry, all those, they'll be giving you advice. I hate meeting those kind of people. When you are in your moments, you are in pain,
Your
you want
vulnerable
somebody
moment.
to side you. You want somebody to just listen to you. That is my husband. My husband knows how to activate it. My husband knows when it's time for me, when it's time for you to. My sisters too, one of them. If they know that I want to rant, I will send them a message. Are you free? I want to rant. They just keep quiet and hear me rant. And next thing they'll be like, are you serious? That thing is wrong now. They shouldn't have done that. And I'll be crying. But even though I know I'm a success. I'm a success. I am a this. My husband will watch me. My sisters will hear me when I am calm. Then, after like 2 market days, they will now come and advise.
Yeah.
So that is how I deal with pain. And it has been working for me. It
Oh,
has been working
wow.
for me.
Oh, my goodness. This has been so interesting. I told all of you now that it would be, it would be interesting. And you would agree with me. This has been so good. So good. I love the relatability. I love the authenticity. I love the practicability. It's not,
Thank you.
it's very real. I love real people and I attract them as well because I'm real. I know that people. If I come, and that better I come to somebody's house, I'm the one that will say, "Do you have Gary to drink?" Because I love Gary. Gary, one of my favorites, with cold water and crispy brown granules. Oh God!
Hey,
Let
you're in the spirit.
I mean,
It's
this
late
one,
to let
oh,
this man not.
let's not
Hey,
go there.
this
I,
man
I
is
love
here.
I
You should
love
not
how
come
you
and
said
crucify
practical
me.
steps. You said you cry. Very important. Don't I see a lot of people that don't they're not truly living because they are not accepting the feeling that they are feeling. They try to, ignore it, deny it, suppress it, especially as Christians, because they told us that we should come to God and we should say that where let the weak say I am strong. That one day, but that does not
That
mean that
one
you will
day.
deny the feeling, the pain that you are feeling. I like when you said you cry, but in the cry, that's where you now do the opposite and it's okay, I am strong even when I'm weak. That's the opposite, yes. But at least you don't already cry first. You don't already acknowledge the feeling, which
Exhaust
is
it.
where, yeah,
Exhaust it.
yeah, exhausted. Let it be released. Don't put it inside your body because it can cause disease. It can start bringing
Hey, yeah.
negative emotions. Yeah, allow it. Release that feeling. Cry the cry. Let it release you. Then you begin to take control back of your mind and begin to speak to that situation and speak to
Yeah.
your mind. And then you said support system. But one thing that you said that I really picked is that someone that can listen. And for someone that is saying she's talking about her husband, people that don't have husband, my dear sister or my dear brother that is saying I don't have a wife, let me tell you the truth. There is always someone that you can be vulnerable to, but you need to talk
Yeah.
to the Holy Spirit first. If you are in that kind of shoe, let me advise you. Talk to God first. God will lead you to who to talk to. Because sometimes when you just go straight to talk to someone that are vulnerable, you might enter inside one chance, you might go
Yeah.
and enter problems you cannot come out from.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so talk to God, and then God can lead you. It can be even your neighbor, self. It can even be your neighbor. It can just be someone passing on the road. It can even be your teacher. It can be your mother, your brother, your sister. But talk to God first, so that you don't end up in a state that will be worse than what you were before. Thank you so much for sharing. Okay, let's go to the next one. What would you
Hey.
say to your 10-year-old self? What would you say to your 10-year-old
Hey.
self?
If I should rewind the hands of time with this knowledge, ah, you see this height there? This my 6 feet 1 inch.
You will do shakara.
I'm the prize.
Come on.
Do you know how many people that are looking for this height?
For life.
Eh? All I just need to do is to be kelebe. I will be doing wrong way. People are crying for this my height. Somebody told me, please, let me collect your height. I said, if you give me nyash, I'll give you height. And even this height, self, I will not give you. I will not give you this height. I even want to add small to this height. So if I were to meet my 10-year-old self, I would tell her, Shamaka, you are the prize.
Come on.
Look at you. If they say, what do you bring to the table? Tell them, you are the
I'm
table.
the devil.
You are
Simple.
the tablecloth,
Period.
the chair. You are the table. You are the
Come
sauce. You are the
on. I
big
love it.
deal. Yeah? You are the center of conversation. If they say, what do they bring to the table? You tell them, I am the table. Why are you the table? The table is where you put all those things, all the things that matter on top. And I hold it firmly. I am the table. I am the chair. I am the tablecloth. I am the flower in the middle.
Come on.
You are the sauce.
Yes.
People cannot eat white rice like that.
Mm.
You need stew.
Mm.
People fit add water for stew, turn out to soup, they drink her like that, they chop meat. But you don't fit chop white rice like that. You are the sauce.
Mm.
So
Hey.
if I meet my 10-year-old self, I'll tell her to look at herself. You are intelligent, you know math. People that are trying to understand mathematics, you know it. Eh? You know mathematics, you know business study, you know this one. Then you are now tall again.
Come on. It is finished.
Please, my darling girl, don't slouch your neck.
Mm.
Stand straight and catwalk with boldness because you are the prize.
Come
And if
on, I love
anybody
it.
is intimidated with your height, man, on them. They don't know what
Exactly.
it means. They are not man
Yes,
enough. They are not
that's
human
how you
enough.
know that they are not
Because,
even. I bet
yes, they are not man enough. Yes, I remember something. This thing I want to say is funny. My husband is here. If he can remember it, I told him something. I said, people within my age range don't get attracted to me because of my height. It is people much older than me. Maybe they give me a 7 years gap. There are only few that are within my age bracket. And when I mean age bracket, I mean like 2 years, 3 years older than me. My husband is within that age bracket, right? But before my husband came on board, the people that were on my matter, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, because of why? I am tall.
Mm.
You understand? My husband said something. He said, the people that cannot meet you, they are not man enough.
Hey.
I'm taller than this man. Oh. He said, the people that cannot meet you, the people that are intimidated are not man enough. What did he say? You are the source. And I will handle the source with my full chest. That was what he meant. So if I meet my 10-year-old me, I will tell her, Chamaka, you are the source. You are hot. Look at your height. Your height is not all those beku that if you blow breeze, they will fall. Your leg is gallant
Come
on the ground, gidigba, like
on,
battle
I love
spasa. You now know book. Anytime you go for Bible quiz, you always pass. When it comes to play, you play. When it comes to cook, you cook.
all
You are a
round.
total package.
Come on.
You are all rounder. If you are an outside woman and they marry you, the man is lucky. Because you sabi cook, you sabi take care of us, you sabi take care of everybody. You are the source and you are brilliant on top.
Mm.
You are the source. Better still, you know how to gather people together. You know how to hold a bond together. It's not everybody that knows how to do that. You are the
Yeah,
source.
absolutely. Yeah.
I will cook and gather people together, let them eat. It's not everybody that can do that.
Mm.
If anybody that will tell me that I'll get into food business today, I'll say it's a lie. But my roots, the fact that I cook, I'll call A, call B, call this room, everybody. Who can do it?
Mm.
So people's social battery don't they go down. My social battery is as live as a lion.
Yeah.
You are the
It's a
source.
strength.
It's
Yeah,
a
it's a strength.
strength. It's a
Yeah.
strength that people are looking for.
Yeah.
And I'll tell her that they may not value you now, but hold yourself up high.
Yeah.
In the future,
They were just,
you will understand.
come on.
They
I
will adjust.
love it. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. There are so many things that I can relate with from your story. You know, when I was around that 10 years old, I didn't like myself. I told you now, I had no self-esteem because of all the you're too outspoken. Is it only you? Is it so I didn't like taking pictures. I would take pictures, I would squeeze my face. Eh? People think that because
Ewo.
I was proud, it's because I thought I was ugly. So take the picture quick so that the ugliness will not show. But
Mm.
later, when I now saw my pictures, I'm like, look at your pink lips. Look at this
Mm.
beautiful. Hey! I say if I can rewind
Your
this,
well-structured
this I
face,
can
your nose.
what lie. That's why I thought that I could relate with everything you were saying because I wish I
I
can go
sleep
back.
like this. I don't sleep straight though. I don't sleep like I get
Oh
some
God,
small coughs. Hello.
honestly, honestly, the things that we worry about, which is why it makes no sense for us to now get to this age and choose to merely exist and choose to just,
Hey,
just
you are
because
teaching.
we wasted time. Some of us have wasted time. We need to live again. Some of us is our parents that did not live and they transferred that
To
cocoon,
us.
being in the cocoon and being in a state of let's accept anything that and then they transferred it to you, and then you two you are doing it. Then those coming after you will now pick it. So you see, if you have taken anything from what we have been saying, it is time for you to live again for yourself and for those connected to you. There is a lot ahead of you. You can't dwell on your past. The what is ahead of you is brighter, is beautiful, it will take some work, and that's the inner work we've been talking about:
Yeah.
mindset, talking to yourself, being conscious, do all these things. Yes, but it is going to be worth it. I promise you, it's going to be worth it. Wow, honestly, I am blown away. I knew
Thank you.
that this was going to be very interesting, but this has been way, way, way much, much more interesting. And I know that people that have listened and stayed with us all the while have gained a lot. If you haven't, I will try to see if I can save it, and maybe Chef Amaka can share it on her stories, and then you can watch from there, or I can tag her anyone that works well. But the truth of the matter is this: we want you to live again. It's so important. And I don't know how I can talk about this without talking about generational trauma. But if you don't live again, you would leave trauma for those coming after you. In fact, sometimes the reason why you're not even living, like you're just existing, is because someone did not do what they were supposed to do. Like maybe they did not what's the word? They did not live. So it's somehow you were a recipient of that. So it's time for you to live again. I want to invite you to the Live Again outreach. I don't think I've even mentioned or spoken about it, but it's a program that we're doing for women. I've spoken to you, Chiramaka, about it, right? It's a program for women, right? It's happening for women alone. Men, please don't be jealous. Don't be jealous. Don't be jealous, right? Don't be jealous. Women are carrying a lot. And because we are womb men, we have a tendency to multiply things. And so when there is pain, we multiply the pain. When there is heartbreak, we multiply it. And so it's so important for women to live again. And that's why we're having the program. It's happening, I think what's today? It's happening in 9 days from now, 27th of April in Ikeja, Lagos, Nigeria. We are helping women live again in all aspects of life: spiritual, emotional, physical, financial, and mental. Everything we've discussed here and more. And then we're giving grants to 20 women of 100K each. We're also giving one mother 200,000. We're giving business name registration to one person for free. So many freebies, I cannot even mention all of them. We have organic products. We have books we're giving for free. Oriki is giving 40 women a free massage therapy, but it's just for the first 40 women to attend. I don't want to bore you with the gist. It's on the link in my bio: www.liveagain.com.ng/outreach. Free of charge. Everything has been paid for. There is free HR experts access. You can review your CVs. There is free legal counsel. Our lawyers will be there if you need legal advice. There is even free medical screening. Like everything has been covered and sorted. Your own is just to show up, and then you begin to live again. And by the grace of God, Chef Amaka will be there.
I'll be
Right?
there by God's grace. I
Yes, by
have to
God's
be there.
grace. So you just might see her. It's a probability, but you just might see her. And because she's a wellness advocate, and I know that her presence there will do so much. Oh my goodness. I want to say thank you to everyone for joining us. If you've gotten something and you know that you've gotten something, just drop one aha moment that you've got in the chat while I ask Chamaka to give us her last words. For a woman that is merely existing, she has heard us, but she's still struggling. She's like, they don't understand. Maybe this woman has been in a cocoon for a long time. Maybe she stayed existing for 10 years, 20 years, a long time, 5 years, last year, but she's still struggling. She's heard everything we've said, but she just needs one last push. And what would you say to that person that is listening to us right now?
Okay, so I didn't hear you clearly. You said, what can I advise a
Yeah, I
woman?
said, what would be your last words for a woman who has heard us? She's heard everything we've said. She wants to live again, but she's struggling. She's finding it difficult to live
Okay.
again. And she's heard, but she just needs one last push. What would you say to that woman that is still struggling to live again?
I'm not going to give you a last push. I'm just going to give you a guideline for you to live again. I'm going to give you some guidelines. Okay. The first thing you need to do is you need to be in a quiet place by yourself. You need to have your alone moment. Now, when you have your alone moment, this your alone moment can be if you are married, you have kids, it can be after your kids have gone to school. If you're a housewife, when you are alone at home, you need to create out that time to have an alone moment. And this is why you need to be alone with your thoughts, right? So now, when you are alone in your moment, that's number one. Number two, you need to like sit down and bring out, like, how will I bring it out? How will I say now? It's just like you're carrying a basket of dirty clothes. You have to bring out all the dirty clothes and sort them. You have to bring out every of the aspect of your life that you feel inadequate. You have to bring them out and start addressing them. Like, you bring it out, you feel bad in the process. Oh, I talk too much. They say I talk too much. They say I'm this. People look down on me. You write it down, you put the feeling, that feeling that you feel, you get. That feeling that you feel as a result of you having that feeling, or the way people have treated you, and you are feeling that feeling, you write it down. You write them down. Oh, I feel I'm not financially balanced. People look down on me. They don't like me. They don't do this. You write it down. That is you sorting out your dirty clothes. When you do that, your basket becomes empty. Now, what you are going to do is, when you do that one, you put it aside. Then, now imagine some of the good things that you have done. That is you getting the clean clothes and folding it and putting it inside the basket. Then washing the other one in the washing machine. So you cannot remember, oh, I did this project. They said they like it. They gave me great reviews. You put it aside. I wore this dress. I did this makeup. Everybody complimented my beauty. I wore this particular thing. I did this particular thing. I got so remark. You do the one that makes that made you get positive remark from people, and the one that made you have this personal fulfillment. You put it aside. Now, that particular one, you will use that one to see how you can address the way you felt, the negative way you felt. You start looking at that, this, okay, what did I do differently in this scenario that made me to get this thing? Oh, it is the way I sat down in one corner and I related with people, but I did not relate excessively. It is the way I cooked this particular meal and I did it this way. It is the way I handled this particular project. It is the way I carried myself. It is in the way I did this. It's in the way I do that. You look at it. Then you use that action that you used in getting that result and see how you can apply it in your inadequacies. So, okay, now, they are looking down on me. They look down on me too much. They don't respect me. They take me for granted, and I feel like they take me for granted, and I don't like it. You remember when you made up and then you walked a certain way and it made them to respect you. Now imagine yourself without the makeup. Look at yourself and say that you are beautiful. Walk that way and present yourself that way. See, negative energy can be sensed. If you release negative powers from your body, like you can release negative energy from yourself, you can release negative this thing from yourself. So if you don't want to experience that type of negative energy, even when it comes, you carry yourself in that manner. So that is how I'm addressing it. Like, I use that one to address it. I want to give you an example. For instance, for me, I have a lot of things on my plate. I do bar wellness, I do Dish Lafrique, I do Chef Amaka, I do content. My earning power is not so strong. It was hurting me. I had to back down. One day, I went to my social media I was alone in my moment. I was sad. Oh, this one, I'm not getting this, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. I'm not growing. I now went to my social media page. I now saw the videos that I did. I was like, Chef Amaka, you know that you are the one that shot and edited these videos? He said, yes. I said, see the growth at which I shot those videos. And what did I do? I sat down. I said, okay, I need to make sure that I become better at this. What did I do? I said, okay, how did I do this video? How did I make this video, this thing? I found out that I had to shoot just one video per day, as against doing many videos per day to accomplish that kind of video. So what I now did was to now arrange my time in such a way that no matter what, at least every day or at least 2 to 3 times or 4 times in a week, I dedicate a time and shoot that video, and then dedicate a time to edit it, and then try as much as I can not to see it as a chore. So that is me looking at what I use, what the result I got, the positive result I got from this particular thing, the actions I use in doing that thing, and finding a way to take it and channel it at my inadequacies. Channeling it at my inadequacies. And you don't need to do all of them at a time. You have to do it one at a time. You can do 2 or 3 at a time. Someone like me, I can do like 3 at a time. So you don't need to do all of them at once because you'll be overwhelmed.
Consistency is more important.
You have to be, consistency is more important. Fire brigade is not the best. It's sustainability that you need to achieve. That's the reason why even in weight loss, they tell you not to do crash weight loss. You will get it back fast. But when you go slowly, you start dropping and you start getting better. So I use some of the steps that made me get, and do you know the funny thing? The steps I use in getting that particular result, a positive result, may not necessarily be the problem that is related to that. It may be a different one entirely. You understand? It can be in, it can settle this particular issue, right? So I pick it, I take it, then I use it to handle some of the issues one by one. Then I start practicing it. And then, last but not the least, you experience failures. You may fall, but don't dwell there. Pick up yourself and move. You failing does not make you a failure. Failing is just part of life. Failing makes you learn. But when you call yourself a failure, you have put a kind of bar. You have stamped it, you have called yourself that, and you are not going to go beyond that. But when you fail, I remember that I had a difficult conversation from a sister, and she expressed her feelings to me, how she felt. She expressed everything. And I told her, ma, it is better late than never. I explained why I behaved the way I behaved. And I told her that that does not mean I will stay that way. I am growing as I'm changing as I'm growing. I will do better. Now, after this conversation with this my ebo, that stupid thought I used to have then, you are always the cause of every problem. You are always, what did I told myself something. I said, Shebi Dangote, they make mistake. Shebi Tonelu make yourself, they make mistake. Eh? They did not talk down on themselves. They are making money. They are making influence. You fall down, you get up. As I'm falling down, I'm rising up. So what do I need to do? I learned from that mistake. I now know that when my ebo hurts me, I don't hide. I go out and I speak. And I picked that, and I said that the lesson is what I pick. I pick the lesson and I move. So now that lesson of, speaking when somebody hurts you, you understand, has also helped me to always address issues when the matters arise. So you see that it's. So whenever you fail, don't dwell on it and say, I cheated today. The problem is that people dwell on it. Dust yourself, move. That's
That's it.
laugh.
That's it. That is, as in, what is, they say, Stella. How did they speak the English? Selah.
Selah.
Selah. Nothing else to add though. If you are
That's
just
some
joining,
period.
your best bet is just to watch the replay, because this has been power-packed, valuable, needed, timely conversation. You have to pick yourself up. You can't stay there. You can't stay in that mud and stay there.
Yeah.
If you've been there, it's time for you to get up from there, live again. And one thing that can even help you is the kind of communities and the kind of people that you meet. Someone like Chef Amaka now, you cannot have her around you, and you will not be living. You don't have a choice. So because of her energy and her positive attitude, you would find yourself picking yourself up. So you have to be intentional about the kind of people that you surround yourself with. It's very, very important. And this is one of the reasons why I have the drive to do this outreach, because I want to put women in an environment where they can meet other women too that are doing the same things. Like when I share my story of abuse and you hear me, I was abused and look at me today. I'm not allowing that, cripple me. Look at someone like you had PCOS and you took that same thing and look at what you're doing with it. So when you meet women and you hear them sharing their own stories and you see them, living again, it will help you to live again. So if you've not registered for the Live Again outreach, click the link in my bio and register for free. If you just joined, I cannot tell you because I've been repeating what Chef Amaka has been saying. I cannot even, if I repeat this last one that she said, I don't know whether I will live here today because she is not dead. Let me just give you a summary of what she just finished saying, right? You need to look into your inadequacies and then look into your achievements. Use the principles from your achievements, what you did differently, to superimpose on the inadequacies, and then you get the results. That's the summary of what she said. And then the last thing she said is don't dwell there. You are not the first to make mistakes. You will never be the first.
You will never be the last.
You will never be the last. So when you make a mistake, do like this. Learn the lessons and move on. God bless you.
Don't be a dog that goes back to his shit. Leave your shit. You don't shit and leave and move. Don't be a dog that goes back to his shit.
Don't keep person.
You don't keep person. Leave your shit. Move.
Oh
The
my
only coco is
God.
that you will not shit that kind of shit again. You shit a different types of shit. And when you shit that different type of shit, you look at it, you move.
Oh my God. Oh my God. This has been, oh Jesus. Oh God. I'm so glad we did this. Thank you so much, Chef Amaka. You're a vibe. Well, it has always, that's how you but this has been, oh my goodness. This, I don't know. I don't have words for this. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. You're
You're
such a light. You're such
welcome.
a, in fact, no. You see why you have to be your true self. You have to embrace your unique identity. You have to love yourself. You have to allow yourself live. Because you're born to be blessed with your awesomeness. You're not supposed to be like someone else. You are unique. So stop trying to, I want people to like me. Yes, you have spent so much time looking for validation. It's time for you to live truly for you. The world will adjust. Honestly, I don't know. I don't have any words to say anymore. I just want to say thank you. Gratitude is all I have in my heart. I'm so happy that we're able to do this. If you just joined, I would save the replay. I will try and see how we can work around it and so that you can get it back. But trust me, it is time for you to live again. There's no other thing to say. There's no other thing to say. The life that you have now is for you to live again. God kept you alive for a reason. And you can't be wasting that life trying to care about people think about you, how they feel about every time. No. All you need to care about is how God feels about you, what He has called you to do. If you are in the center of His will, how can you do the thing He has called you? Finish. And every other person will adjust. People will adjust. Thank you, everyone. We gotta go now. Honestly, we don't feel like
Thank
going.
you so
This has been
much.
so good, but we gotta go. We gotta go. Thank
No
you so much,
problem.
everyone. Remember, it is time for
Thank
you to
you.
live again. God bless you, everyone. Take care of you.
God
In Jesus'
bless you too.
name. Bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye.